Hey YouTube, how are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the YouTube channel Age of Jeremy, where we talk about business stuff. We talk about the hobbies that I'm learning as I grow my businesses. I own multiple businesses such as 3T Warrior Academy and Age of Radio and Phoenix Crypto Assets and Collecti Labs and all other kinds of stuff. And so what I do on here is I talk about some of the stuff that I'm learning. I show some of the stuff that I'm learning, and I try to educate people as much as possible. And one of the reasons why I've been doing a lot more lives and why I'm doing a live right now is because I'm trying to get better at talking more on the spot and chit-chatting and creating conversations with people. And it's also helping me to educate people and get better at that. So that's why I'm choosing to do this. It's also it's learning for me, right? And so I want to learn and grow and do as much as I can. And I don't expect tons of people to be on these lives right at this moment. And that's perfectly okay. But hopefully over time, we grow this and we talk about it. And so a little bit more about me. If you don't know, I own a 3T Warrior Academy. You can go check us out on 3twarrioracademy.com. I'm going to try to make a banner that I didn't have ready for this specific segment right now inside of StreamYard, which is what I'm using right now. Go ahead and let's see here. Go ahead and check out. That's why on our Good Morning Crypto show, we have someone else do this part because look, sweet, look at that. It came up. How amazing is that? And all of you are probably like, oh yeah, we know how to do that. Yada, 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 whatever. I'm okay with that. But let me go on here to our most popular show that we have. It's called Good Morning Crypto. Hopefully the sound doesn't come through. Actually, let me go here. We have 92,800,000 subscribers on our 3T Warrior Academy page. And so for fun, I'm going to see if I can share this. Let's see, which screen do I want to share? Let's do StreamYard. Nope. Screen one, maybe. Screen one is what I want to share. Let's see what this does. Look at that. It's just fantastic and amazing. Now, I've been talking to Josh, Chrome Designs. Josh, if you ever watch this or I guess talk to me, I would love to find out how to pronounce your handle because I have known you for many, many years now, and I don't know how to say your handle. So Josh says that we should be using Streamlabs, and I use Streamlabs for my Twitch, but I'll digress for that for a minute. I should have probably had YouTube as one word there, yeah? All right, so 3T Warrior Academy, this is the bread and butter 3T Warrior Academy right here. We have our Good Morning Crypto show. We had a very special guest on our Good Morning Crypto show yesterday. We had BitBoy. If you don't know who BitBoy Crypto is, let me see if I can get him here. BitBoy. There's BitBoy. BitBoy Crypto. He's got 1.44 million followers. 1.44, what would that be? 1,440,000 followers. And he was on our amazing Good Morning Crypto show. Good Morning Crypto show is a show that we have that focuses on news of the day in crypto, the most relevant and impactful crypto news, as Abs calls it. I mean, it's a fantastic show. We've got all these amazing, amazing people. I'll be 100% honest. I don't know, is the sound supposed to come through on this? There's some sound. Although, maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. Not super. That's Abs. Anyway, so Abdullah, this is all part of our 3T Crypto team. This handsome gentleman at the top right there, that's Selman. We own a business together called Collecti Labs. It's an NFT incubator. It's launching our 3T Warrior Academy NFT on it, and it is also launching the X Genesis token. So I'm not going to go and show you all the website. Actually, I'll show you. Let me see here. Let me see if I can show you Collecti's website. Collecti's website's pretty good. Collecti Labs does some amazing, cool stuff on it. Much better than my Age of Radio website that I'll show you in a minute. But Age of Radio does good business because we make amazing podcasts with a lot of amazing people that are part of Age of Radio. And that's why we do it. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and then when you scroll, it does that. This is X Genesis. The X Genesis token went live, so you should go check it out. You can go over to Twitter and follow X Genesis and and you can get the coins. And then when the NFTs launch for the X Genesis project or the Genesis project, then you can mint and get an actual NFT that provides utility as part of their community. And that community, Selman and the team is growing on inside of Discord. So that's something that's very powerful. And that's why if you watch my YouTube channel, I talk a lot about Discord and the importance of Discord. And that's really powerful because you can build a really good tribe and a really good community with a Discord. So this goes through the roadmap. They did a really good job on that website. From what I remember, I don't think it does very good on your phone. So maybe we should think about that in the future and change that. We also have Coach JV's amazing videos. He just did a video on the Pope moves all the funds to the Vatican Bank. So that's amazing. Something to really think about. And then we have our Kin Mac and Coach JV show. You can follow all of these on social media, all these people. And then we have our non-fungible show. We also have these amazing shorts that do phenomenal. Look at all these views. Killing it. We are killing it. All right, so that's enough about that. So back to me. So I own a business called 3T Warrior Academy. It's not just that YouTube page, though. We have our 3T Warrior Academy. We have Warrior Wear that you can check out. We have our 3T Warrior Academy membership site where we have over 1,000 members inside of it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at this point in time, where you can join our membership group. We have business groups inside of there. We teach people about business. We teach people about crypto. We have crypto courses. We have motivation. We have health and life. We have a 120-day challenge. We're doing a special 90-day challenge, and that's our membership. You have pay, you get part of that community, and we have courses. We're also doing a day trading course. It's an extra fee on top of that you should go in there and check it out. So make sure that you check out all of our 3T Warrior Academy stuff. And then the other thing that you should be doing is you should be checking out Age of Radio podcast at www.ageofradio.org. And the reason why that's important is because that is actually my main business. Well, I take that back. 3T Warrior Academy is my main business. Me and John, we created 3T Warrior Academy and Age of Radio at the same time, but we're doing a lot of revamping on Age of Radio. And one of those revampings that we're working on is the branding, what Age of Radio is all about. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Age of Radio is about right now. So Age of Radio was designed so that anybody could join our network and they could benefit from being a part of a network. We could benefit on sharing our podcasts across platforms or across each podcast. We could do advertisements on them. I could try to sell advertisements on them, and we're working on a deal with a company called Signature Home Styles, which you can go and check out, which we'll be talking a lot more about that. But when you join our network, you get access to a licensed platform, a platform that we license called Megaphone. We build you into our ecosystem. We pay for ads for your podcast across Facebook and Instagram, and soon we'll be doing Spotify, and then we have these amazing communities for our Age of Radio podcast hosts inside of our Discord, inside of our Facebook groups, and we have some amazing shows. One of our top shows was Color Me Dead for a long time. Our top show is Mysterious Circumstances. We also have our Coach JV Motivation, Health, and Life show. And there's some stuff that we need to get updated on this website. But if you have a business or you want to be promoted on Age of Radio, go ahead and come over to our ad space, give us some information. And again, we'll be rebranding all of this as we move to a more professional look and a more streamlined look, and kind of organize it a lot better, because our goal is to grow this into a 7-figure company over the next couple of years. But we're always interested. If you want to get some ads going on there and you want to promote some of your products, please reach out to me on YouTube and so forth. But one of the other main reasons why I do a lot with this this YouTube channel is I want to talk a lot about the things that I enjoy and the things that I do. And so there's some key things that I think that I really want to focus on inside of this YouTube channel. One is, as I grow in my tax knowledge, I have an accounting degree. I have a bachelor's in accounting. I have a bachelor's of science in finance. I have a master's in business administration. I have a certificate in programming. I have a certificate in marketing. And so when I look, and I shouldn't say that. There's one last class I have for the certificate in programming. It was a second Android development class. But point is that I know how to write in JavaScript and create an Android app and things like that. Not JavaScript, in Java, and write an Android app. Jesus Christ. And so point being is that I want to teach all of these things with you because I really believe that e-learning and education and where we're moving in the future, we're moving more to a virtual world, whether that's in the metaverse or if you want to consider this the metaverse, doing teachings like this where we can teach each other and learn and grow with each other, being across, across the country and across the world. And I really think augmented reality is going to be something that really pushes forward in the future as well. And so that's one of the things is I learn knowledge about that, whether it comes to taxes, whether it comes to finance, whether it comes to accounting. I want to come in and share that with you, and talk to you about how I created my wealth and how I create generational wealth for multiple generations and all the things that go along with that in teachings. So if you look at some of the videos that I have on here, a lot of that has to do with Discord because I'm very adamant on Discord and I believe in the building of tribes and communities and engaging in social media and engaging in these types of things so that we can become better together and learn from each other. And that's something that I really, really enjoy. And I love teaching and I love educating people. And so I plan to do that. The other great thing that I love is gaming, whether that's video games or whether that is board games or role-playing games. And so a lot of the things that I like to talk about on this channel revolve around gaming, in that nature. And so the other night I tried to do this YouTube live, but I wasn't able to because of the fact that I didn't have the live set up. And so now that I have the live set up, let me see here. Yep. So now that I have the live set up, I'll probably be doing multiple lives where we can come in here, we can have conversations, and we can do webinar type things, and I can show you things. And then as I use a lot of the products that I use, like Adobe products, I'm a very big fan of Adobe. So Adobe, if you ever see this, I would love to be an Adobe influencer or an Adobe ambassador, with however you want to do it. I'll even do it for free. I have a bunch of Adobe stock. In fact, I'm just being real with all of you, most of my retirement fund is in Adobe stock. That's how much I believe in the company Adobe and what they're doing. And I'm putting this in the universe right now. One day I will be a board member for Adobe. And that's one of the other things that I hope to teach people is about governance and the business of things. Right now, just so you know, in case you think that, right now I'm in my home office. I have a nice little house in Glendale, Arizona, and my offices are in Mesa. So sometimes I might be coming live from Mesa. Sometimes I might be coming live from here. We do have businesses in Connecticut. Sometimes I'll be coming live from Connecticut, and things of that nature. So I just plan on having fun and sharing with you all the fun stuff. So since we're live, we haven't some time. Kind of probably want to keep this to maybe a half an hour or so. But one of the things that just came out that I'm obsessed with is this Spelljammer's box set. This is the most exciting thing that I've bought in a long time. I know a lot of people like talk. So here's the thing. The more the money that I make, the more equipment that I buy, probably should get a better camera. This is an older Logitech camera, and by the looks of it, the lens is even dirty. So I'm assuming you're looking at me through some type of weird, dirty lens. The lighting over here is horrible. I don't have my Elgato lights on. I don't have a back. So maybe I should buy some more equipment with some money. But instead, I bought Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the setup of how we play Dungeons and Dragons here. So we have a hard time getting together. So what I decided to do is, because we have people that are in Canada, we have people that are in England that we know and do business with, and some of us all love Dungeons and Dragons. I started to do Roll20, but I built it inside of Discord. And I'm going to show you how I set that up, because I think that doing that through Discord and playing the game in that capacity is really cool. So one of the things that I have that I'm going to show you here is Roll20, which we just started doing Roll20. This is a game that I created. It's called the Astral Key. It's called the Astral part. It's called the Astral, and then it's part 1, the Key Maker. But let me see here. All right, so we just got this one going. Chrome that's actually Dustin, not Chrome. And then that's actually Node Defender. And then that is actually Dustin, which is that gentleman here. And it's kind of weird. And then we have, I believe, Jordan Harry. If you follow Jordan Harry, I think he'll be playing with us. But essentially, we launched the game through here, and I don't have any of this fully set up because we just started this campaign. But what we do is not only do we do it through there, but we have this private Discord that then what we do is we have a special D&D channel, which is right here. And so what we do is when we do this, we end up opening up this video, and it's not going to be able to pull it because of this. And then we play the game through that. And if you notice, Chrome's name is Dick and Balls. Actually, Chrome and Dustin came up with their character's name. It's Dickin and it's Balls, and it's Dick and Balls, and that's what they're doing. But we have so we kind of manage a lot of this through our Discord. Which is the Discord that I show on some of my other videos. And then when we play that, we go inside of the D&D campaign. Let me close this. We go inside of this voice channel, and when we go inside this voice channel, we open it up and then we share it. And so if you've seen, this is a private Discord, and the goal between the Red Wizard Gaming Society was twofold. It was designed to create a nonprofit society where we could all get together and play games, whether they're card games or role-playing games or what have you. And then what we want to do is as we grow it, people can come and do a membership fee, but then we'll open up actual card houses. And more importantly, the money that we raise, I want to have it developed into creating like more studies into ludology. Ludology is the field of the studying of game and gaming mechanics and gaming culture, or societies that are created within gaming culture. And I think that one of the things that we always have this tendency to, at least when I was growing up, it's getting a lot better now. I'm a millennial. I'm 38, so I'm on the older millennial side. And so when I was growing up, people always looked down on playing video games. Now video games is a regular thing that people do. And on top of that, I think that people should also play card games. I think people should also play role-playing games. I think people should be playing one-player games. There are lots of one-player games that are out there in the world where you just play on a table with yourself, right? And so with the Red Wizard Gaming Society, one of the things that I want to do is study that, write stuff about it, create articles, create an ecosystem behind that. And this is more of a passion project of mine. And when you grow, grow or become more educated in the field of business and governance and running companies, a lot of the times you'll have these passion projects. It's something that I find that the more wealthy. Wealthy makes it sound like I'm a billionaire, and that's not the case. But the more money that I make, the more I try to get involved with passion projects. And this is where a big passion project of mine, because I get to play games with my friends. Who wouldn't love that? And so as this opens up, there's different tiers. Like this is the Order of the Silver Star tier. And it only allows people that are called maguses in it. Those are the top tier. Right now, everybody's in that because these are all the people that I'm playing games with. But eventually, as we get other people in, they will have different tiering systems. But let's say they want to come and find a party. They can come to this channel here and request to find a party to play a game with, whether that's an online video game or whether that is, an RPG or maybe trying to find a place where they can meet up and play too. And then one of the things we have also is Riot Games. Now, so I'm going to go back into this in a minute. But first, I want to share some of the cool stuff about this D&D Spelljammer's adventures because it got me so excited. So Spelljammer in space is essentially Spelljammers are essentially these types of, I guess, you could think of them as ships. So set sail for the stars. Welcome to the astral plane in the starlit realm that surrounds the world of Dungeons and Dragons multiverse. Hop aboard a spelljamming ship and set course for an adventure. So essentially these spelljamming ships, in fact, the cool thing about this is the back end of these books, or the back end of the Astral Adventurer's Guide, like essentially the Dungeon Master's Guide for it. The back end of that, there is just so much stuff about like just the stuff that can go into the ships and like the layout of the ships, how to get to the deck, and then you can utilize these ships as main ships for your adventurers if you're the DM, so that they can travel the astral plane, and then the ships provide different different attributes for it, right? And so I think that that's really cool, and it has different crews that you can add to it, and it has all this stuff. So essentially, this is one of the box sets that they've created in this new, or in the D&D Next or D&D 5th edition, whatever you want to call it, with multiple books all part of a box set. And that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about older versions of Dungeons and Dragons. They would always have those amazing box sets that would come out that would have the maps and all the stuff to build. And so when we look at the Astral Adventures Guide, one of the things that I do like, they do have some new classes in here. If you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, your classes like what type of, what your character, I guess, is. Let me see. I guess, actually, you know what? I think these are backgrounds, not necessarily classes. In fact, I think that they mainly just have new races. Actually, I don't think they have actually separate classes in this. I did a live about this not too long ago, and I think I might have said that these were separate classes. It looks like they created new backgrounds. Let's see. And then this goes through how the spell jamming works, or the Spelljammers work. And then they have new items. Yeah, this book has a whole bunch of separate spots for items, and then it goes into all of the ships. So that's what it is. Okay, so they have 2 different new backgrounds that are associated with the game. And so those backgrounds are Astral Drifter and then Wild Spacer. But more importantly, they have some new races. They have the Astral Elf, which I think is exciting. It's an elf denizen on the astral plane who is possibly hundreds of years old. I like the images of them. I'm not a huge fan of elves. I would prefer gnomes over elves or dwarfs, but I think these astral elves are pretty cool. And then the other thing is I'm a huge fan of gnomes, and these these are they call them autognome. And so autognomes are actually built by rock gnomes, I believe. And so I think that the autognomes they're like a mechanical beings built by rock gnomes. And so that's something that intrigues me. So more than likely, I will probably have rock gnomes be a main part of this Astral Key campaign that we're doing. But I guess if Dustin and Josh or anybody's watching this, that's going to be an integral part of it. And then they have these gifts, I think is what they're called. There's these hippopotamus-looking creatures that I think is really amazing. And then we have the Hedozi, and then Hedozis, and we have plasmoids, and Thrykeen. Hopefully you can see it. Anyways, and then it goes into like the magic items, and it goes into that. The other thing that's really cool about this, they do have an adventure that goes through it for level 5, I think is where these adventures start. So what I'll probably do is as we go into the astral plane, that's why the game's called the Astral, because I'm building most of this new campaign around the astral realm. And so when we go into the astral realm, one of the things, so the campaign is called this Light of Zarsis. It's level 5 to 8. So if you're interested in picking that up as well. On all of these, I think come separately, not as a box set, and they have special edition covers, which might be interesting to get also, depending on how you collect your Dungeons and Dragons stuff, or if you even play Dungeons and Dragons. And before I get to the last thing, I'm just going to show you this. It comes with a really cool Dungeon Master screen, which I usually put my Dungeon Master screen up, even though I play online, because I just like having it up. And if I'm going to be the DM, I'm going to have cool shit, right? Okay, so, and then this is that. Okay. All right, so there's that. We got the light. And then this is the thing that excites me the most about this is Boo's Astral Menagerie. Boo is this little cute little hamster or gerbil. I think he's a hamster. Let me double check. He's a space hamster, which means that they're space hamsters, and that's freaking rad. Okay, and so Boo's a space hamster, right? And then his sidekick, I believe, is named Minsk, and he's a ranger, and that's who this gentleman is right there. But this is Boo's Astral Menagerie is just their adventures through space, and all of the villains that they not villains, monsters that they came across. So this is essentially filled with monsters, or monsters, I guess, creatures that you can utilize in your games and in your campaign. And then there's a main town that's inside of the game, and it is called the Rock of Brawl. And then this map comes with it. There's an overshot view, and then there's a landscape, or there's a view from the outside and then a view from the inside. So I think that or not like from the inside, but like a close-up view. Jesus Christ, Jeremy. There's a close-up view. So I think that that works really, really well. So what we're going to be doing essentially in the campaign, I'm not going to go too much into it, but in the campaign, what I like to do in a lot of my campaigns is have something that happens, right? And then present multiple, maybe 2 other ideas that the adventurers could go down that aren't key to my overall game that I created, so that we have like side quests and they feel that sense of they can go anywhere or it's not pushed. One of the things that I love about Dungeons and Dragons is if you can think on your feet. Think on your feet. If you think on your feet as you're a dungeon master, you can create multiple different areas where they can go, and you can create them as you go. And when you do that, it gives the sense that the characters can do whatever they want. And I think that that makes for a really fun, not only a team bonding experience, but a friend bonding experience, and also a fucking awesome gaming experience, because it doesn't feel like they're forced to do anything inside of the game. And the great thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's like a completely open world, right? As best as you can. So what I do is I pick a few of those, and then I kind of tease them in front of the character, so they might go down a different path that's not part of their main mission or their main quest. And so what I'll do is I'll introduce some of these things, probably in Candlekeep, because I love libraries and I like doing a lot of stuff in Candlekeep, and I use a lot of Forgotten Realms stuff in my campaigns. And so when we're in the Forgotten Realms realm, and we are, in Candlekeep, we'll probably introduce them into something that can lead them into the main adventure, which takes them to the astral plane. And so that's one of the key things that I'm hoping to be able to do. And the other thing cool about Roll20 that I haven't been able to test today yet, and then after this live, I'm probably going to hit the fitness center, the Planet Fitness, not our fitness center. So I own a fitness center in Mesa also, called 3T Fitness. But I have a canvas, and a canvas is like a display tablet, like a second screen that you can draw on. So what I'll probably do is try to see if I can get the Roll20 on that, kind of draw out the maps as they come up, because I didn't buy any of the maps inside of Roll20, and then they'll be able to kind of test their or be able to not know exactly what they're seeing, right? Because they also have this dark light feature that's really cool inside of Roll20 that I bought. But again, I haven't made any of the maps yet inside of the game, and we're supposed to be playing the beginning part of the campaign tonight, but then other people join, and we're going to be adding them. And so I'm really excited about playing the Dungeons and Dragons Spelljammers. I think it'll go really, really well. I think it'll be really, really fun. And so to that end, the other thing I want to talk about in one of my videos, my last video, I talked about in Discord, I talked about where we had to, where you can create these different roles. And I did say something incorrectly. I want to correct it. I said that in the Discord, in the roles, when you go to the role and you go to create into server settings and you go to roles, I kept referring to the administrator as an actual role. And what I meant was you can go into, like, I created this second. So we got rid of all the roles in here, and we have a role called Magus, and we have a role called Red Wizards of Mulholland. Red Wizards of Mulholland is part of the Red Wizard group inside of Dungeons and Dragons. So I utilize their name inside of this, and this is what everybody becomes when they join into the Discord. And so, or supposed to, I haven't set it up yet, but that's the plan. And so when we go to here and we look at these permissions inside of Discord, when we scroll down, you can go and turn on administrator, and that gives them essentially the lead roles inside of Discord. And so I kept referring to the administrator as a specific role, but it's not necessarily a specific role. It's more associated with the fact that it's a permission that you can give to a role that you create. And I wanted to clear that up. And then the other thing is too, if you go through here, so the highest tier, the only person that has the highest tier in the Discord server is going to be the owner. And so if you watch another video about the Discord and you see that I wasn't necessarily the owner, I got all that fixed. I'm the owner now. I can do whatever I want inside of here. But you can see how these things can be moved from their tiers sections, right? So now Magus is less of a tier than Wizard of Mulholland. But if I can move it back, right, and now it's got the highest role. And so your color shows up, whatever roles you have inside of here. Whatever happens for the most part is whatever happens is the most part is that the colors here associate that role, and then any of the owners here have this crown, and so you know that I'm the server owner in this because I have this crown. And then if you see how we're all this red, it means that we're all maguses. So I haven't like opened it up fully for anybody to come and join this. It's not, you know, someone that I personally know, but eventually we'll kind of we'll move to that and change a little bit of that. And so some of the things that I've needed to kind of work on in here was getting some more of these Riot games. We haven't played any Riot games, but the cool thing about that is inside of these gaming systems, we'll probably put, when we go live, we'll probably create the server channels. I'll go and I'll start playing and try to invite people to come. I'm fucking horrible at Valorant. At Valorant. I'm horrible at Valorant. And so that's something that I'm trying to work on to make the server better. The other thing, I did get some feedback from someone on TikTok about this this being white. I do think that the dark works a lot better when we're showing something here. So I'm glad that I got that feedback, and that I am working to do that. But other than that, there wasn't anything much that I wanted to show in the Discord right now. I just wanted to clear up that administrator piece when it comes to the role setting, and then to kind of show the differences in that role when you can level them up, and then you have that. But if we were to add anything to this, if you notice, I created this category here. So just to reemphasize, I created this category here. It's the Order of the Silver Star. That's the highest tier, and then so only people that are maguses can see this. And the people that aren't maguses can only see this. So if we go here, we go to server settings, and we go to these different roles. If we go to Red Wizards of Mulholland and we see, let's see, where's it at? Permissions. View server as a role. So if you go to the role and you go to these three dots, you can click that and you need to view server as role. And so see, now it's showing me as if I were that Red Wizard of Mulholland. So let's say you came in here and you were just assigned to the Red Wizard of Mulholland role. You could only see these things here, right? But if you notice, if we go back and we close this out, there's this other stuff here. So only maguses have access to this right now because that was a private channel that we created inside of Discord to show that, okay? So that was one of the other things that I wanted to express. And then we will show you some of the other things that I'm going to show you as I do them is if we go into our Age of Radio server. So we have this Age of Radio server here. It's got all of these different categories where people can come and learn. And the only way that you can get access to this Age of Radio server is by going to our Addicted to Podcasting Facebook group. So if you go to Facebook and type in Addicted to Podcasting, let's see here. I guess I don't have a banner for it. If you go to Facebook and go to type in Addicted to Podcasting, you'll go to our Addicted to Podcasting Facebook group. And inside that Addicted to Podcasting Facebook, you're going to have access to this. But there's lots of cool things that we offer to our hosts. Like this is for our team. This is for our podcast. So we'll be doing some Twitter pod raids. We'll be doing some Twitter spaces. People can upload their trailers so that we can put them onto our megaphone platform. People can recommend. We'll have all kinds of how-tos for the megaphone platform that we utilize. And this is only available to people that have our specific podcast. But more importantly, there's a way to integrate webhooks inside of Discord. So as I learned that stuff, I'll go ahead and share it here. So if that's something that interests you, make sure that you like and subscribe so that we can make sure that we are learning together and growing together. And so if there's anything that you want me to research for you, just go ahead and, put something in the comment. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this video to this YouTube channel, so that you can get notifications whenever I go live when I'm teaching these things. So there's that part. Cool. Okay, so one of the other things too is I did this live the other day, very similar live. I kind of wanted to give you an update on my reading. So one of the videos that I started with was talking about reading for the Honjin murders was one of the first book I read, and the second book that I read is this George Eliot book. It's called Middlemarch. George Eliot's first name was Marianne Evans, or real name was Marianne Evans, I believe, and she went by George Eliot because in that time, I'm assuming it was better to be a man to get books published, but there could have been other reasons, and I didn't really read into all of them. And so I'm about 500 pages into this book, fantastic, superb, well written book. Talks a lot about provincial life in Middlemarch, this place, and they're doing this like voting thing and all kinds of cool stuff's happening with that. And this doctor moved into town, and Dorothea, she got married. And essentially what ends up happening in the book is it talks about the happiness of people inside of marriages and the roles of not only the husbands but of the wives that exist within inside of a marriage. It deep dives into the meaningfulness of these relationships and where other people might not, and how with if they didn't have these relationships that we categorize as husband and wife, how different their lives would be. At least that's some of the sense that I got. I mean, a lot of it does talk, especially when it comes to certain things like Lydgate. He's a doctor, I think is the doctor's name, and he it's almost like he just has to get married because people expect him to get married. Now he does find someone that does have feelings for him, and it's just interesting because it's just kind of like, okay, well, you just got married because you had to get married, and then like how they marry off women in it, and not in the sense of like arranged marriages, but in the sense of like, okay, well, you're at a certain age, you need to have a specific life, you need to have a husband, you need to do these things as a wife, your role as a wife, right? Dorothea like has a mind where she wants to learn and know things and obtain knowledge. So she marries this older gentleman who has a job in, I believe, in some type of religious position, and he's writing a book, and he's writing papers on certain things. So she's trying to help him, and so she's scribing things, but she's not like learning anything from him. It's almost like he's using her as like a worker bee, and it's like women shouldn't know or learn and do all these other things, and that's a reoccurring theme that I feel that comes up inside of that book, is that women aren't able to, that women have a specific place, but then also just because she does touch about men having a specific place in society, and the way that they abuse each other, not in the sense of hurting them physically, but in the way that we abuse each other in our role placement that we have on the other sex or on the other, biological sex. And so I think that that's really interesting. Now, the one thing I will say about the book, and I'll do a whole video on it once I'm done, probably, and get my bearings straight on it because it's taking me a long time to read it. One of the things that I will say is I do wish it was a little bit faster paced. The content of it and the philosophical underpinnings, I guess, are very good. I enjoy that type of stuff. I enjoy learning about what people did in that day and age, and in that part of the world, in Britain, or in this case, I guess, Middlemarch. And when I think about that, and when I think about that time, I love learning about stuff in that time, right? I love that era. And I enjoy that. The problem is that the book doesn't have, in my opinion, the book doesn't have great pacing. And I think a lot of that is because of the way that George Eliot does the dialogue in it. The dialogue's good. The dialogue's funny. It's not funny in like, oh my gosh, funny. It's more funny. However you want to take that. So it's very enjoyable. It's not a non-enjoyable book. I just wish it was a little bit faster paced. But the rest of it's pretty good. Which is, there's other books that are some like have really interesting dialogue, really interesting philosophical debates, but they tend to be a lot longer, a little bit faster paced. Like Anna Karenina. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. One of my favorite books, but I can't pronounce her last name to save my life. And probably something I should definitely work on. But point is, I love that book. I can read it over and over and over. Same type of thing, like lots of philosophical conversations. Maybe the philosophical conversation is a little bit more interesting to me, but they do talk a lot about the marriage aspect and people falling in love. But the book is just really, really fast paced. I think it has a better overall plot, right? And there's still quite a bit left in this book, so it could take a different turn. Could get crazy on the back end, but I think that's one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to being done with this, because after this, I'm going to go and read some more of the Japanese murder mysteries, and those are super fast paced. And I think that that'll be kind of a good pace after reading something like Middlemarch. So I do say that. And then the other thing too is, and then I picked up some other books. I don't know how I'm going to put these into reading, but if you follow me, you know that one of the things that I'm attempting to do is build a family library. Eventually, I would like to buy some space outside of my house and do my family library there. Maybe offer some, memberships at a very low cost to community members, where they could come in and see, rent books or whatever. I haven't decided that, but more importantly, it's more designed for me and for me to go sit there and read, and for my family members to have access to all of this knowledge and books over time. And so and I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I need to get more. I didn't get a lot of stuff last night. Was studying for the enrolled agents exam. Woke up, did what I normally do. Now I'm doing this. Going to go to gym, come back, play D&D. Picked up Pachinko. Apple TV has this as a series, I think. It's about a Korean immigrant family that immigrates to Japan, and it goes through 8 different generations. Other than that, I don't know much about it. I started reading it a little bit when it first came out, but it reignited in me because Apple turned it into a series. I love Signe Classics. I love collecting these books. So anytime I find one that I don't have, I usually pick this up at Barnes and Noble. It's Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of Baskerville. I've never read this. Love me some Sherlock Holmes, though. Who doesn't love Robert Downey Jr. or Benedict Cumberbatch? And then I tried to get all the Haruki Murakami books. They re-released a lot of the Haruki Murakami books with the different covers, right? And so they all kind of match. So I have the colorless something or other. And then I have Killing Commandant, I think is what it's called. And so Killing Commandant, I have the first printing of it. It's hardback. This is an older printing of 1984 or 1Q84. And so 1Q84, I have tried reading in the past. I think I bought it from a library, never finished it. So I thought I'd buy it because it has the first. So this is, I think, the first printing in softback. I wish I could have got the hardback. I'd probably go on Amazon and still buy the hardback. But I think that they re-released this in the other type of covers, and I'll probably pick that one up and have multiple copies. But this is probably supposed to be one of his best books. So I picked that up. But again, after I finished Middlemarch, doing 2 Japanese murder mysteries, knocking those guys out, or 3. I think I have 3 of them still left. Knocking all 3 of those out, and then I'm moving to just doing all of I might change the plan a tad bit. I think after that, because I want to get these out of the way, I'm going to move to reading all of the Lyndon B. Johnson not autobiography, Lyndon B. Johnson biography, finish all of that up, and then go back to the reading list and finish up like Poke and some of the other ones that I talked about. But I'll be putting these in here. Eventually, I'd like to do some book reviews. I've been studying a lot about Bill Gates, and not studying Bill Gates, but looking at how he does his book reviews. He does a lot of stuff on nonfiction stuff. I want to do both. I think it's very important to read fiction and nonfiction books. I think fiction helps provide, I think fiction sometimes has more insight into life and wisdom than we otherwise find in nonfiction books. And so that's why I like to have fiction books as part of my reading regimen. And then I also am working on becoming even a longer reader, in the sense that I would like to spend more of my days reading. But my days, like I spend a lot of my time working. And even though I'm doing a live right now, I don't fully consider this working, but I'm doing it in part to grow my presence, so that then I can, educate people in all the things that I do, and educate people on how to do the things that I do. So that's one of the things that I'm focusing on. So we're at 43 minutes. I appreciate everybody that watches this. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you watch it after the fact. And eventually we will have people that are jumping on here and asking me questions. So if you have something that you want to do, just drop it in the comment. Make sure that you like the video so we can get in front of more people, and make sure that you subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. So remember, be thankful, grateful, and kind. We'll talk with you next time, and we will see you soon.